immediately before the commencement of the Citizenship Amendment Act 1985. So it doesn't talk of the entire Pakistan, what was Bangladesh as on 85. So again, we have a limited geographical unit, which is the subject matter of 6A. Well, D again restricts, I'm sorry, the definition in D again restricts the application of 6A to very few individuals who will be qualified to take benefit of 6A. Please see, my lord, person shall be deemed to be Indian origin if he or either of his parents or any of his grandparents was born in undivided India. As your lordships, my lord, goes through further, your lordships would find that 6A applies only to people who can fulfill this condition. So for getting advantage or benefit under 6A, I'll have to show that either I was born in undivided India or my father or my grandfather. So your lordships have three categories. First, the category in which it applies, the Assam, a very limited geographical area. The category from which the persons are permitted, only Bangladesh, a very limited area, and the persons who would be getting the benefit under 6A have to fulfill these conditions, and therefore very less number of people. It may be in thousands.
Now, how did the government, undivided India means undivided India as defined in the Government of India Act of 1935.
That is defined under the
2B. But now under the Government of India Act, undivided India comprised the, Pakistan,
yes.
Bangladesh also.
Bangladesh was not there.
Of course, it was East
part of Pakistan. Yes.
Today's Bangladesh.
Yes, it was. Yes. Today's Bangladesh was a part of undivided India. But undivided India, my lord, is defined in the Citizenship Act itself.
It is. It's 2B. I think 2.
It's 2B.
2H.
No, I'm sorry. 2H. To mean undivided India as defined under the Government of India Act 1935. E. A person shall be deemed to have been detected to be a foreigner on the date on which a tribunal constituted under the Foreigners Tribunal's Order 1964 submits its opinion to the effect that he is a foreigner to the officer or authority concerned. So there would be a judicial adjudication by a quasi-judicial tribunal after giving an opportunity of hearing, meaning thereby due process will be followed, and the person will have to now, this is a case where I want to be declared a foreigner. 6A are not the cases where people would be arguing, I am not a foreigner. People would be arguing, I am a foreigner and therefore I fulfill these conditions and therefore entitled to be a citizen. That's the distinction. This is a separate class by itself, because I get benefit of 6A only if I am declared to be a foreigner falling within the parameters of 6A.
Under the Foreigners Tribunal Order of 64, could an individual go to the tribunal and say that, well, yes, now in view of this 85 amendment, declare me to be a foreigner?
Yes.
Or does a show cause notice have to be issued to him? And
both ways. Both ways. My lord, suppose somebody is, there is an apprehension that he is a foreigner. Then show cause notice would go that you are an illegal immigrant. He will go to the Foreigners Tribunal and say that I fulfill 6A condition and therefore I am a foreigner, but I am entitled to the protection under 6A. If he is not.
Before 1985, nobody would have gone to the Foreigners Tribunal and say, please declare me as a foreigner.
Correct.
Because the consequence would be deportation.
Correct.
So before the 85 Act, there was no question of any individual going.
Correct.
But after the 85 Act, it becomes not a cause for deportation, but it becomes a cause for protection, grant of citizenship.
Your lordships are right.
So is there a provision by which an individual can go to the tribunal and then say, okay, please declare me to be a foreigner? Or how does it work actually?
I'll show that. But there are provisions under the Foreigners Act. He can go. But that was the root cause of the agitation which started. Because nobody was going for being declared as a foreigner, because the result would be deportation, and therefore the influx created genuine concerns with the ethnic people, and that started, And the government was, my lord, faced with a situation whether to accept the entire demand of the people of Assam or to permit everyone to come. And I'll show the government, my lord, somehow, my lord, brought the issue down to a middle way. What they were saying was that whoever has entered after 51 should be deported. That was, my lord, the demand of Assam Gan Parishad, Assam Students Union, etc. That was the demand when, my lord, the government was negotiating. And therefore, my lord, this 67, 66, my lord, deadline came into being. My lord, I'll show the history.
We would also like to know you may go about it in your own way. How are those dates taken? What is the
Yes, my lord,
logical basis for the dates?
There is a
66
I'll
and
just, my lord,
23.
immediately answer that. My lord, I'll immediately answer that. The first date is, my lord, 66. Lord, 66 is taken to be the date because on that date, an electoral roll was prepared containing names of everyone, my lord, whether disputed or undisputed, natives or illegal immigrants, and the elections took place in 67.
Is there any third category other than this? One is of Indian origin. One is other categories of foreigner. Could there be a third category?
My lord, in the context of this matter, there is none. Otherwise, my lord, there is a category of OCI, my lord, overseas citizens of India, my lord. But we are not concerned with that.
In that case, supposing if a show cause notice is issued, to issue a show cause notice, you have authority. That's number one. It should be followed by a final order. There should be some element of adjudication, though not by a tribunal, by the government, government machinery. Suppose he doesn't go, he doesn't choose to go for the tribunal. What is his status? What is to be done for that person?
No, my lord. Then we will have
neither after show cause notice or after the decision arrived at by the instrumentality of the state. If that person continues to be there, or what do you do with it?
With deportation.
Then what did you do?
Detention and deportation. That's the statutory provision. Unless he proclaims protection under 6A.
No, he would acquire the status of foreigner.
Illegal immigrant.
That is what I am asking you.
Yes, my lord.
Could there be a third category there?
No, my lord. He would be an illegal immigrant.
Then if he is a foreigner, then he will go on before the tribunal.
No, my lord. Illegal immigrant also can go in. My lord, this is how it works. My lord, I can be a foreigner, my lord, if I go to US. I am going with a valid visa.
Therefore, there is another category called illegal immigrant.
That's the only category.
That illegal immigrant will be declared as a foreigner.
Foreigner.
By the tribunal. Correct?
By the tribunal who deserves to be or who is required to be deported.